We would now begin with our felicitation program. Chief guest, Professor S.J. Kaushik, Director of Research, IANERE, France. Honorable guest, Dr. Krishna Das, University of Leeds, Belgium. Honorable guest, Dr. B.K. Chakraborty, Bangladesh. Shubhodip Ghosh, ADG, Marine Fisheries. Professor Kaushik Ghosh, Organizing Secretary, 2nd International Conference. Professor Apurva Ratan Ghosh, Convener, 2nd International Conference. Dr. D.D. Patro, former Vice Chancellor of Vidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya. It is our great honor to cordially invite all esteemed guests to graciously join us on stage for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp.
We Central Calcutta Science and Culture Organization for Youth are organizing a 3-day international conference on aquatic resources and sustainable management.
Thank you all, and we salute our organizing secretary, convener, joint organizing secretary, assistant organizing secretary. They are all-time hard work for this conference, and we salute all of you to participate here. Thank you.
The exact welcoming speech for this conference that we have learned something. What we have learned, that should be given to the benefit of societal development. All we know that in this conference, as I mentioned, it's a mega event, though it is a 2nd international conference. But the organizing committee, so far you have seen through your abstract.
We planned it maybe 1 year back. Last September, we planned it to organize the conference here at Science City. After that, you know that it started rolling, it moves on, and ultimately there were some hurdles. We are also, in doubt that whether we will be able to organize the conference during this period or not. But after all, what happened, we can see that we could do it, and that's all is due to your support.
On this special occasion, we are delighted to announce the release of Book of Abstracts that have already been placed before our honorable guests. We would like to request our organizers to kindly present our newly released book, Aquatic Lexing, along with the book cover.
I am a student of agriculture. So, fishery and agriculture is highly coordinated and intermingled. Water population is increasing in an alarming rate, and we estimated that it will be about 10 billion in 2050. India is not keeping behind and will be 1.72 lakh as estimated by that time. Surprisingly, population of China is decreasing. Nevertheless, we have to have more food for increasing population.
Both things exist in Asian aquaculture. It's not the case in terms of what you call intensive aquaculture as is practiced elsewhere. So challenges are there. There were very clear indications and questions which are coming up, and much progress has been made over the past 20 years by governmental efforts and so on, which was demonstrated here. And finally, also the interaction between nutrition and health was much mentioned here through a number of communications, potential intervention measures in terms of using nanotechnology or mineral applications of minerals, and also in terms of importance of early life stages.
First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Chairman and the organizing committee for inviting me. It's a true pleasure to be here in Kolkata and to be able to speak about my research. And I hope it won't be too difficult for you because after all this good food, it's nap time, so I will try to be a little bit dynamic during my talk. So what my name doesn't tell you is that I'm coming from Belgium. It's a European country, and with a very nice city, Liège. And in this city, it's the University of Liège where I'm doing my research.
I think you will do all the scientific study by new innovative way, and you will find out something for your nation. And my request to all, please do something for your nation. World population will be 9 billion within 2050. So the Indian population is the highest population in the world. And in Bangladesh also, if you compare our Bangladesh is a very small country, but the population is 18 to 19 crore.
But in this direction, SIFA has done wonderful work. The Jayanti Rohu, you all know, that has been developed through the selective breeding, and also genetically improved Katla, then genetically improved Scampi has been developed, and the seeds are available. In fact, I was the earlier RAC member of SIFA for 3 years. I know the excellent work the SIFA is doing. With these few remarks, I take this opportunity to thank the organizers.
How, and he is a close associate of mine, I have seen how Bangladesh fisheries and aquaculture is so strong. I will say their aquaculture is much better than ours in India. So we must learn, and from his presentation we could know from limited water resources how much fish they can produce. We all should learn, and it is an eye-opening presentation for us. Thank you very much.
So this is basically what we plan to do in freshwater aquaculture. Now coming to brackish water aquaculture, the biggest contributor in terms of value in the country is from brackish water aquaculture. I mentioned 1.73 million tons of export valued at 64,000 rupees crores. Of this, close to 50,000 crores is contributed by single species of shrimp. So you can understand the importance of brackish water aquaculture in the country.
So in view with the total fisheries and aquaculture production of globe, we know that it has reached a record of 223.2 million tons in 2022, or the live weight equivalent of 185.4 million tons. there is a lot of algae also which is going into the consumption chain where the production is around.
For making the sustainable fisheries or the fishes available in the northeast, we have to go ahead in the ladder, either in the third or in the fourth position we have to give. Because there is a small water bodies, large water bodies is very few, and then some of the important things is that that fisheries, that is, there are different animal proteins, a requirement for the as per the nutritional diet.
Regarding the maturity status in our culture systems, we got maturity in all the three systems. Here is the picture from SIFA. You just see at different stage of maturity during July 22.
And we have collected the DNA samples, and from each location 30 samples. And we have done the PCR using the specific primer for cytochrome B region, and we have sequenced with the Sanger sequencing.
Now in case of the juveniles also, we have seen that they are also having the same trend, while they are increasing their body length from 11 mm to 16 mm, there is a sharp increase of sodium potassium ATPase.
So that I am asking, how did you avoid that calculating the concentration?
And as we know, the plankton only floats from the upper surface and the subliminal parts. So the probability of getting a huge amount of those things are very.
To achieve our objectives, we also employed some techniques like fish samples were collected using drag nets, and then they preserved in 10% formally, then they transported into laboratory for further.
আজকে এই কিছুদিন আগে যেমন আমাদের ফিশারি সেন্ট্রাল ফিশারি থেকে যে আমাদের ইয়েতে বিশ্ব বাংলাতে যে হলো সেখানে অ্যাবস্ট্রাক্টটা আমার পাবলিশ হয়েছে এবার তো ইন্টারন্যাশনাল জার্নালে খালি বলছে ফুল পেপার পাঠায়
There are generally two approaches by means of which artificial baits can be prepared. So one is definitely the synthetic baits, which mainly kind of mimic the behavior of the prey that the fishes are being targeted towards. And the other is, or the basis of my today's presentation is the surplus or byproducts of the fish.
Functionality of these microbiomes, we can cluster them together on how these microbiomes are being helpful towards the fish. We can also get some microbial based remedies like probiotics.
Our objectives of this study are to identify the gonadal developmental stage of this fish and to find the relationship between GSI with gonad weight and body weight of this fish.
Puntia serrana is an omnivorous indigenous ornamental freshwater food fish that has greater potential for enhancing small-scale aquaculture industry of India.
So here we use a small glass breeding chamber whose diameter is 6 into 2 into 1 feet. There we place a breeding cage. It helps to remove the brooders and the eggs after the complete of breeding.
And the average depth of the lake is about 4.5 meters during the rainy season, and it is also has a very good biodiversity of flora, plants and animals, that is flora and fauna, along with the aquatic vegetation.
So what happens is, in India the wild population is very scarce, and finally the hatchery stocks are also being raised because the aquaculture demands or feed demands for the food in the form of the fish has increased.
At first, the samples were collected during pre-monsoon, monsoon and post-monsoon season in the early morning. The collected sample were preserved in 2 to 4% formalin solution. The specimen were identified species level, sex and measure.
রিসোর্স ম্যানেজমেন্ট লাইফ বিলো ওয়াটার, যার মূল কথা হলো সহনশীল মৎস্য চাষ এবং জলসম্পদের পরিচর্যা প্রতিপালন, যেখানে উল্লেখযোগ্যভাবে জলের ভেতরে জীবন নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করব।
আজকে এই যে মিটটা আমরা করতে পেরেছি, এই জন্য পশ্চিমবঙ্গ সরকারকে ধন্যবাদ দেওয়া বিশেষ দরকার। এই কারণে মাননীয় মন্ত্রী মহাশয়ের সাথে আমার বিশেষ পরিচয় আছে। ওনাকে যখন বললাম যে আমরা এইরকম একটা উদ্যোগ নিয়েছি, আপনাকে একটু পাশে থাকতে হবে এবং প্রত্যেক জেলাকে ইনফর্ম করতে হবে তারা যেন মৎস্য বন্ধুদের পাঠায়, উনি বললেন হ্যাঁ নিশ্চয়ই, এরকম উদ্যোগকে সাফল্য করার জন্য আমি যা করতে হয় করবো। তারপরে উনি অফিসিয়াল গভর্নমেন্ট অর্ডার বের করেন এবং বিভিন্ন এডিএফদের কাছে সেটা পৌঁছে দেন এবং আজ সেটা বাস্তবায়িত হয়েছে। সেখানে পশ্চিমবঙ্গ সরকারের মৎস্য দপ্তরকে আমরা আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানাই এবং ক্লাবিং দিয়ে
সেন্ট্রাল ক্যালকাটা সায়েন্স অ্যান্ড কালচার অর্গানাইজেশন ফর ইউথ তাদের উদ্যোগে অনুষ্ঠিত ফার্মার্স কনক্লেভ চাষিদের মুখোমুখি। এখানে আপনাদের উপস্থিতির অন্যতম উদ্দেশ্য হচ্ছে যে আপনারা যে সমস্ত সমস্যা বা আপনাদের যে প্রোগ্রাম, মাছ চাষ একটা হাতে কলমে করা কাজ। আমরা ল্যাবে যেটা খাতায় কলমে করি, আপনারা হাতে কলমে করেন।
হাত জোর করছি, পুকুরে কেউ সিমেন্ট ইউজ করবেন না। যদি অর্গানিক লোডিং হয়, আপনারা চুনে থাকুন, আপনারা জিওলাইটে থাকুন, আপনারা ডোলোমাইটে থাকুন। যদি সারা পুকুর জুড়ে মাছ ভাসে তাহলে বুঝবেন ডিও ফল করেছে, তখন ইমিডিয়েট হাইড্রোজেন পারঅক্সাইড ট্যাবলেট ইউজ করতে হবে। কত ইউজ করতে হবে একটু পরেই বলবো।
কারণ আমরা শুধু বাজার থেকে কিনতে কিনতে যে অবস্থায় পৌঁছে গেছি, কিছু একদম অর্গানিক কিছু জিনিস বলে যাবেন পাশাপাশি, তা নাহলে মাছ চাষের অবস্থা বর্তমান আপনারা নিশ্চয়ই বুঝতে পারছেন যে কোন জায়গায় পশ্চিমবঙ্গ আজকে পৌঁছেছে।
তার জন্য একটা যেটা আমাদের মাছ চাষের প্রথম যিনি যে বিজ্ঞানটা ডক্টর হেরালাল চৌধুরী তৈরি করে গেছেন, সেখানে কিন্তু যে নিয়মিত একটা জৈব সার এবং রাসায়নিক সার প্রতি মাসে দেওয়া, সেই অভ্যেসটা কিন্তু করার দরকার আছে। সেটা হলে কিন্তু একটা প্রাকৃতিক খাদ্য জোগাড় হবে। এছাড়া হচ্ছে প্রাকৃতিক খাদ্যকে বাড়ানোর জন্য এখন যেটা আমাদের জুস দেওয়া হয়, বিভিন্ন রকম অর্গানিক জুস, ইন অ্যাডিশন টু দ্য মানে আমাদের যে রাসায়নিক সার এবং যেটা মান্থলি একবার রাসায়নিক একবার আমরা জৈব সার দিই, তাছাড়াও মাঝে মাঝে আমরা এটাকে বাড়াতে পারি।
যদি পুকুর মোটামুটি ভাবে মেনটেন করা হয় যে প্রতি 3 বছরে একবার করে পাম্প যদি তুলে দেওয়া যায় ইত্যাদি, তাহলে সেই সমস্ত পুকুরে চট করে কিন্তু অতটা অ্যালগি হওয়ার কথা না। অ্যালগি গরমকালে একটুখানি হওয়ার হয় এবং সেটা মূলত যেটা উনি বললেন যে অর্গানিক লোড যদি বেড়ে যায় সেই।
আমাদের যে ভাবনা চিন্তাটা আমাদের প্রশাসনিক স্তরে রয়েছে, যে জায়গাটাতে আটকে গেছি আমরা, সেটা হচ্ছে যে অন্যান্য যে কোনো ইন্স্যুরেন্সের তুলনায় মাছ চাষের ইন্স্যুরেন্সের প্রিমিয়ামটা অনেক বেশি আছে। এটা ব্র্যাকিশ ওয়াটার এবং ফ্রেশ ওয়াটারের ক্ষেত্রে যে দুটো প্রিমিয়াম ওই কোম্পানির পক্ষ থেকে বা অন্যান্য তার পরবর্তীকালেও আরো দু একটা কোম্পানি অফার করেছে, তো সেখানে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে চাষির উপর চাপটা অনেক বেশি পড়বে বলে মানে দপ্তর মনে করে এবং দপ্তর সেই জায়গায় দাঁড়িয়ে একটা নেগোসিয়েশন, একটা আলোচনার মধ্যে এখনো রয়েছে যে যাতে এই প্রিমিয়ামটা কতটা কমিয়ে আনা যায়।
This excellent summation of the whole session, and the bottom line that I can say is research cannot be actually a sporadic one or individualistic one. It should be working together, all the institutes, the universities, they should come up together to find out the solutions regarding whatever problem we are having associated with this anthropogenic effect on the riverine system. Now, before we bid adieu to all the participants.
And what we see is that system is gradually becoming rich in nitrogen as you go down. Not to surprise, because urban areas, semi-urban areas are increasing. Just to put a context, lower part of the river Ganga, the density of population per square kilometer is 10,000. And India's density of population per square kilometer is 999. So you can understand what we are talking about.
Okay, commercialization of vaccines. And if you take in 1982 to 2016, there are nearly 27 vaccines for aquaculture that has been developed for viral diseases or bacterial diseases. And what about commercial vaccines for tilapia aquaculture? It is still in infancy, like a promising vaccine for tilapia aquaculture. And why tilapia, if you ask? Yes, tilapia is the most grown species in LMIC country.
So among all the continents, Asia leads the globe in aquaculture production, and among all the fishes, the catfish Pangasianodon hypophthalmus, which is also known as Pangasian or Vacha, it is one of the most important catfish cultured and contributes 2% of our global aquaculture production.
This is the basic flowchart of my research experiment, the 5 days of the acclimatization and 96 hours of the eligibility test. The first control group and another one is the dose indicating the studies. I have also done the estimation of the water parameters such as for the POD, COD, the water total hardness, etc. The estimation of the hepatosomatic index, gonadosomatic index, and the histological assessment.
When I analysis cadmium concentration in fish tissue like gill, liver, stomach, intestine, kidney and muscle, their liver high amount of cadmium are accumulated, and in cadmium plus biochar and are lower cadmium accumulate 2.95 and cadmium plus Jusia 3.14 and cadmium plus Jusia 1.66 and muscle are.
The aim of the farmers is the control of ankylosis. So ultimately my work will in due course lead to the biological control of ankylosis only. So as I have already said in the previous studies of our laboratory, we have already established the symbiotic relationship of Argulus bengalensis with some gut bacteria. So our main aim, which can be taken up for the next, as per as the test of the control is concerned, that after removal, if we can remove those symbiotic bacteria, how much it is affecting the survival of the populations.
And this is the allointegrated group, and with compared to that sham group, in the allointegrated group, the cells are less stressed, less compact and less vacuolated. Okay, and in sham group it actually used to take approximately 8 days or more than 8 days to compensate or to get normalized. But in case of allume treatment, we got that almost the normal condition of the scenario around 6 days and onward.
Was to investigate the antimicrobial patterns of the pathogens which were isolated from South 24 Parganas and to calculate the MAR index of those isolates. In methodology, 5 sampling sites were selected, namely Garia, Chaubaga, Jadavpur.
So the methodology has been represented here. The features has been collected from the open order system by the farmers or the local fishermen. Then they are brought to the lab in fresh conditions and are looked for the ectoparasite infestations.
So a study biopsy have been performed upon limnitulus and was to a certain 96 hours LC50 cadmium and with cadmium chloride and 11 different concentrations, and LC50 has been done through the probit analysis and AS has been performed.
These are the sample size shown in the circle of the in the map that is Kolkata wetland, and as a result we got the many heavy metals like vanadium, chromium, manganese and strontium.
Now the results and discussion mainly is that we have taken monthly variation in the maturity stages. Especially we have taken the fishes like Labio rohita, Katla and Serenus migala, and we have found out that we have correlated it with the temperature and also with the rainfall.
Really enjoyed, and as I mentioned that you must carry on. I think all of you, whenever you are going to present it, if it is a poster session or if it is a lecture session, you just keep it in mind that you must enjoy your presentation.
Those are in initial stage, we are also encouraging them. It's not a matter. They are able to present, and this new type of this digital presentation is also very good way. You did not have to wait and just before the poster and deliver something. It's a new approach, the digital presentations.
It is launched last year, 2022, along with all over India. We have a pan-India coverage, and what it presumes actually a strong network of aquatic and health laboratories, including West Bengal. We have Sari sitting here. We have a partner with West Bengal University and Animal Fisheries, as well as the State Fisheries Department of West Bengal.
Any type of disease, whether it is new or old, the farmer just let him put a photograph or some sample to the nearest either statistics unit or this institute or this university.
So we have to do some steps to overcome this problem. So our objective is to access the influence of water quality, feeding regimen, stocking density, role of mucus on larval survivability, and also role of probiotics in the larval survivability, and to optimizing the rearing practices for improval of larval survivability.
Modified because this is that basically Sundarban has its own ecosystem based mangrove fisheries, which is called Bhashabada fishery. So that there the stocking density is basically an extensive stocking. We are now giving there some inputs. We are stocking some Macrobacterium rosenbergi, some milk piece, some other pieces, some Peneus indicas. So that is not an extensive culture at part.
Is of course the need of the hour, because positively taking, there is an accelerating growth in aquaculture sector in India, and as well as negatively considering, there is an increased occurrence of diseases. So with the help of this app, you can easily, very quickly and efficiently you can report diseases. So realizing this, NASPID was formed.
Basically, if we see, we have taken 4 villages from all the corners of the wetlands, and basically these 4 villages, we are having more number of active fishermen. Means there were total members were 1081. Out of that, 500 were the active fishermen, and from that we have taken 100 fishes.
E-fish, AI fish feeder for automated fishings, and robot fish for water pollution controls, fish brain, smart fish ACE 2020, e-CAS, aqua cloud is to detect the disease, Turn Mojo, fish plating units, fish healer AI also is software through which we can recognize the species of the fishes.
In the shrimp farming, as we can take shrimp farming as an example, if we can shifting the shrimp farming from the mangrove area to IMD, then we can regenerate the mangrove. As we know, the mangrove work as a carbon sinkers, so it will helpful for us to regenerate the mangrove. And
when we are drying, when we use the drying chamber of the spray dryer, sir, due to inappropriate heating, while I was experimenting also, I saw that the heating was not appropriate at 120 degrees Celsius, and mostly vapor used to come in. So this was the direct result where we can see that the encapsulation was not properly done, sir.
So the data collected from these farmers were analyzed using the Garrett ranking method. So the result depicted in both the table. the result, the major outcome in the farmers which are associated with public extension organization, they were mostly failing the problem like over implementation of fisheries development.
So my topic is focused on highly popular semi-fermented fish products. That is, I will be talking about shidol. It is a salt-free fermented fish product with a paste surface. So my objective mainly will based on to study about the properties of traditional shidol of Northeast India and comparison between two shidol products, that is puti shidol and fesa shidol. So
Collected by face-to-face interview, and the statistical analysis was done by using SPSS and Excel and SAS. Among the results, maximum fishers were from age group 50 to 58 years. Among the all total 152 sample fishers, 97% is concluded that they had faced some or the other type of conflicts.
I like to inform two things. Whatever you try to present in a poster, you should highlight your points in bullet or point-wise or wall-like. Unfortunately, we have not seen any kind of highlighted results in these sessions.
This is a great opportunity for me, all the nutritionists in this country. In India, we practice three types of aquaculture. One is the intensive, where only pelleted foods are used, and FCR it is 1.2 to 2. Generally in shrimp culture, we do this type of aquaculture, and at present biofloc and RS. One way policy is that we have to bring more and more species to aquaculture. That is due to extinction of species, endangered species, many things are there.
That I have been able to give my lecture in presence of international renowned scientists. India feed usage in aquaculture is 20 million tons. Out of that, we are using 62%, which is 13.95, is for the farm-made feed. And rest 20%, or which is about 6.16 million tons, is from the compounded feed. And rest 11%, which we are using the pelleted feed.
First of all, and that they and all this their feeding, all these things are mechanized. Okay, and another thing is the harvesting. They are doing harvesting of this just 10 to 15 grams. That time they are harvesting. 15 gram, beyond 15 gram they are not going. So beyond 15 gram, then when they are taking, that time FCR is going down. Contributing only 1 million ton, it is the driving force of this aquaculture sector. It is the economic engine.
My suggestion is, please, all the scientists, why don't you put some extra effort for indigenous and our sources which can give us this import substitute totally not required.
Western companies are here, Norwegian companies, Tretting, Biomar,
yes.
And, all of them here. They are producing fish. Indian fish feed companies are very smart. I can give you one example, Growell.
Yes. Yes.
I've known them right from the beginning.
Yeah.
They are fantastic growing.
I think this conference will go a long way in tracing out the root course, the course of development of India. Actually, I wish, truly speaking from my heart, I wish the conference to be a complete success.
Really, we are this is our opportunity to learn the things, I think. So many pieces in the basket, but major species, they are the major species we are culturing till now. Mostly IMC, some exotic carps, and now catfish, you know. And again, some species from outside, like pangas of late, paku, it has come. And now again one thing, looking in the urban aquaculture, I think our Mahabharata is there. Now a lot of people are coming. Now they want to do singi culture.
This is quite different from traditional feed formulations and the traditional feed formulation mechanisms. And we know very well that when we prepare a feed, we also mix some minerals, some vitamin mix, premix. That's are very important. So another part of my lecture is the trace minerals and some plant extract.
And this is going to be, more of a nostalgic moment for me, because every speaker was, remembering about their mentors. Here again, with me here, the obviously challenges we have with so many SDG goals and all those things. It's about, meeting the demands, meeting the, requirements in terms of the, food, in terms of the nutritional security. And aquaculture is, you can understand that, during the last few decades, it's, trying to meet up, and it is catching up with the, surpassing of all the, marine products.
Actually, all the ICAR people, they do something and say something. I'm from a teeny university. Actually, I can bear the message to our student, those who are working in the field level. And these are the culturable species in our West Bengal. The requirement of the level of proteins already there. The different scientists working in this field, in Katla, in Cyprina Scarpio, in Areochromis niloticus.
And also other speakers made the job somewhat easy for me, because they have already said about the probiotics, prebiotics and everything. So you see that this is the changing scenario of aquaculture, because increasing stocking density is in the priority to improve or increase the production. And as we all know that if we increase the stocking density, then stress will be created, and as a result of which that may reduce feed utilization, weaken the immune system, poor growth, and also disease susceptibility.
As we have seen that there are two important challenges for the aquaculture worldwide. That is, first is environmental problem and the health challenges. Because we are just going for the high production rates, our challenges are getting high. This time also from 17 million to 22 million tons we are expecting for the next year.
Melatonin get confused with melanin. It is the melatonin that is produced mainly from the pineal organ. In addition to the pineal, that is in the hypothalamus, up to the hypothalamus, these are synthesized by other organs like this retina, liver, ovary, and here actually.
So you have chosen this, and why the arginine, it is an essential amino acid, and it is not only acting as the body protein synthesis, but it has the multi-functions. So along with the body protein synthesis, it has the role in creatine synthesis, which can produce the energy ultimately, and it can synthesize the polyamides, which
We all are aware that fish meal and soybean meal are the two most major ingredient which is a source of protein, and soybean being the second most costly ingredients after fish meal. So researchers have been trying to investigate the potential novel protein source which we can replace or substitute the two major protein ingredients. So in the crossroad, we found it.
The primary aim and objectives of my study is the isolation of probiotic bacteria from fish body, beneficial outcome in utilizing diet containing plant extract of curcuma longa and Premna herbaceae, which led to alleged nutrient utilization and growth performance of the freshwater catfish, that is Heteropteustes fossilis and Cyprinus carpio.
So nanotechnology, this is a fusion of three Greek words which is nano and techne and logos, which precisely means that controlling and understanding of matters at a dimension of 10 to the power minus nanometer. Nano denotes 10 to the power minus 9.
So as we all know, aquaculture basically favors the food security and economy, and maintains also quite a good part of our economy. In our country, basically we all are majorly, more than 70% we dependent on the IMC culture. But what happens when we go for semi-intensive or intensive culture of these species? Due to the wastage of the feed, as we all know, the 70% of nutrients are lost.
A feeding trial was made for 30 days using 10 fishes per tank. Special feeds are made with fish meal, soybean meal and rice bran and other essential ingredients. Experimental diets were prepared, adding finely ground onion peel powder to the basal feed and labeled as D1, D2 and D3.
But the commercial prebiotic like FOS, MOS are very expensive. So I have studied on some natural prebiotics like onion, moringa. The properties of these prebiotics have already been recorded.
Stress is an unavoidable and most challenging situation in aquatic organism. Aquatic organisms are always exposed to multiple stressors. The heavy metals like leads are cumulative poison which often leads to oxidative stress and curtail the.
Now, mainly various studies have suggested that gut bacteria, autochthonous gut bacteria, can be utilized for their feed utilization and immunomodulation, and they also require a good amount of protein in their diet.
I have measured the growth parameters, digestive enzyme, immune parameters, stress parameter, metabolic enzymes and survivability following these materials and methods. I have 6 sets of experimental setups.
So I have taken aluminium as a toxicant because currently in the recent trends of research, aluminium has been established as a very potent water pollutant. I have taken zebrafish as a model, an aluminium-induced zebrafish model.
In the oxidative stress of the hepatocytes of the katla. For this study, we collect the fingerling katla from the local hatchery, and the katla was divided into 3 groups in the base of.
The objective of this study is role of probiotic rich diet PBRD and symbiotic rich diet SBRD in the gastrosomatic index, gut histomorphological changes and the activities of major digestive enzymes in the gut of katla.
But in the previous studies, researcher reported that particularly presence of chitin, which limiting the nutrient utilization in the animal. So here in the present study, we use the combination of ginger and the black soldier fly larva meal in the diet of.
all the august audience present here. So we are going to start our valedictory session. At the end of this 3 days international conference on sustainable fisheries and aquatic resources management, life below water.
In summary, it has been a pleasure to be here, not only in Kolkata, but to this conference. I really learned a lot. And one specific point I really enjoyed is the conclave between the fishermen, the fish farms, everything, and the scientists. Of course, I'm not fluent enough in Bengali, but I understood how important it was, and it's really an important aspect of the conference. So for that, I would like really to acknowledge the organizer. It really went smoothly.
Mr. Pamanik sir, to hand over the token of appreciation to our convener, Professor Ghosh, Apurvardhan Ghosh sir. Organizing Secretary, Professor Kaushik Ghosh sir. Organizing Secretary, Dr. Shuman Bhushan Chakraborty sir, Calcutta University. Dr. B.K. Mohapatra sir.
Now we would continue with the process of handing the prizes to the participants. Shubhra Roy, RGO 10. Jeet Marik, ARC 12. Shayantan Mohapatra, APT 14. Anisha Mitro, APT 11. Arup Mistry, DIH 1. Nobonita Chakraborty, AMP 2. Shoma Das Sarkar, AMP 7. Shubhas Das, MSF 4. Now Shuchishmita Deb, NFA 10. Tonaya Shukul, NFA 13. Next is Shaurabh Haldar, RGO 28. Shujata De, APT 22. Next is Tonik Dash, DIH 23. Please, Tonik, if you are here. Then Trishna Biswal, AMP 13. Pritha Kumar, MSF 9. Angana Dash, NFA 18. So you should keep the phone over here and come. And Dibyendu Acharya, NFA 20.
We invite all participant scientists kindly join in our organization as a scientific member, scientific executive. We hope everything is in our website.